Alrighty, everybody. So, this is quite the undertaking we have here. So what this is basically going to be is a playthrough, obviously. It's a Let's Play. This is a fully commentated Let's Play of Dark Souls 2. Start to finish. I don't know if I'm planning on doing any of the Scholar of the First Sin stuff, so I don't know if I'm actually going to be getting the Scholar's ending. I haven't decided yet, since we're just now starting on part 1. But we are going through the whole thing, the whole shebang. We're going through all of the vanilla game. We're going through all 3 DLC packs. We're going to explore the story. We're going to really dive in, get our hands dirty in what Dark Souls 2 has to offer. Because honestly, it's been a long time. It has been a really long time since I've actually sat down and played Dark Souls 2 for several different reasons. And I honestly want to give the game another shot. Because I was very hard on Dark Souls 2. When it first came out, and then when the DLC started to drop. I, of course, share many of the opinions of the community. But we'll leave those opinions to later, till we start talking about other stuff. But I want to give it a shot. I want to give this very long game, can be a long game, a shot. And I'm gonna do relatively the same thing I did with Bloodborne. Is we're gonna explore the world. We're not gonna get everything. I'm not gonna do that kind of playthrough, because Dark Souls 2 is so much bigger than Bloodborne ever hoped to be. But in the same vein, Dark Souls 2 is also a lot choppier in terms of its story. It relies a lot on having played and seen and really dug into Dark Souls, and that's one of my complaints. And that is where most of the complaints are going to stop, at least in this first part. I will have criticism, I will have feedback, but for the most part, this is going to be me giving the game inherently just a little bit of a breath of fresh air. Like breathing a breath of fresh air into my Dark Souls experience. And what better way to do it than a playthrough for you guys. And I kind of want to get back into Dark Souls, because in the next couple months, I think we got 3 months as of the recording of this first part. I'm recording this on the night of January, now. It's a little after midnight, so it's the 14th now. It's a Thursday. And we have about 3.5 months until Dark Souls 3. Which as of right now, I am stating in a video, I am going to go through all of Dark Souls 3. As a first playthrough might be. I want to share that experience with you. I want to share that very rare first time through a Souls game with everyone. And I purposefully didn't do anything like that with this game, because obvious reasons I wasn't doing this when this game came out. And I didn't do it with Bloodborne for most of the same reason. I also wanted to get more information on it first, because I wanted to really talk about it. Now, this one I am much less... Let's go ahead and start the game while I'm talking here. I am much less well-versed. I'm not nearly as well-versed as I am with Dark Souls 2, or with Bloodborne, or Dark Souls 1 for that matter. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start a new game, and I would like to turn my sound up. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the stream up on my little cell phone here.
Maybe
and I will shut up, because this is a really cool intro.
Forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. you will lose everything. Once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drangleic. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Drawn to a flame. Your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
Well, hold on just a second, guys. I need to check something. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the my microphone, because I have a pair of headphones on right now that are connected to my controller, just so there's no feedback or anything. I needed to make sure that my my headphones didn't supersede my good mic, my Snowball. So, besides the dialogue of that scene, which is very meta and very, I don't know exactly what you'd call it. Besides meta. Basically, the whole meta perspective of that first cutscene is basically the dialogue meta anyway, is you're going to be sucked down a deep dark hole of Dark Souls 2, death after death, and you will not care, you'll lose who you are, whatever. Regardless, the intro cutscene, which it, again, has been a very long time since I've seen and actually analyzed myself, also gives you something of a an interesting few clues, and things that are kind of just not in the game. That whole first scene, none of that. It actually reminds me a little bit of Bloodborne, the tree with all the light bugs on it, and the very red moon, very reminiscent of the blood moon. But this is kind of telling. Since you pass through that gate, and you dive into that, the abyss, the hole. I shouldn't say abyss. The swirling vortex, because the abyss is an actual thing in Souls. You die because you wake up and you're hollow. So in some veins, so let's go ahead and take off the helmet. You die. And it might be implied you die more than once because your health is already at half, and the whole game mechanic is your health goes down a slight increment each time. But you're dead. You have died more than once, in terms of like character, progression or starting the game. I've always found that interesting when you start a new character. I'm not exactly sure if it's supposed to mean anything, if it, anything like that. Also very telling. It's just darkness. The things betwixt everything that is not this central platform, this field, which is very much akin to. Say hello to my dog, Mr. Jingly. That's not actually his name. His name's Virgil. But it's very reminiscent of like Elysium, or the idea of it, of Elysium, which is a story, their story of death. It's where warriors go when they have died a good death. Kind of like it reminds me a little bit of Valhalla. Oh, hello. It reminds me a little bit of Valhalla for the Viking. So die in battle, go to your glorious end, that kind of thing. Now, these are weird little enemies because if I'm not mistaken, these things are nowhere else in the game as well. This is a very just here kind of sighting, and they actually kind of remind me of Gremlins. Surprisingly enough, they look very goofy, especially their eyes, how they bob their head. They kind of look like dogmen. I don't know. They've always looked goofy to me, and how they move is really really goofy. This is one of those things I wish. I wish a very strange thing about this game. I wish you could have like a pet, and I wish one of these could be a pet because they're just kind of goofy looking, just because of how they move and their eyes, and I don't know. I've always thought they were really kind of weird looking. All right, let's move this along. So this is, like I said, this is your starting area. This is things betwixt. So basically that description, things betwixt, which is more or less, if you're unaware, is the things in between, or things caught between one thing or another. So I guess that could be why you're here, as a character, like how they can right away why you come to Drangleic is because you are brought here for a purpose. Now, that purpose gets foggy as the game goes on. All right, yeah, we're gonna go get our weapon before we kill him. We are coming back for him though, because he has something of value. Oh yeah, if you didn't know that was there, right there. There's a little thing hidden in the bushes. Okay. So, in the things betwixt you find a little shack. So someone or something lives here. So I'm gonna shut my mouth. That was my mic. I'm gonna shut my mouth and let you guys listen, because this is also important. Well, most of it. The idea is what's important. What she says is not really important. Alright. So, this name, I'm going to do like a little legacy here. Because my first Dark Souls character was named just Richard the Great. So, if this is generations later, and this is going into Dark Souls 3, so this ancestry of the Greats are going into the next one. So, my very first character in Dark Souls was, in fact, Richard the Great. So, we are going, not GG, we are going to go ahead and see if we can fit that for our playthrough. I don't actually know if that'll fit, so... Let's see. Oh, nope. Rich. Let's try Rich. The Great. Can't put II. You know what? We're going to go internet on it. So, we are Rich the Great. Richard the Great. He's just going to be Richard, because it's my own name. Richard the Great the Second. In god-awful internet speak. Alright. Yes. And then in Dark Souls 3, it will be... At least you know your name. It will be... I'll have to figure out what the timeline is. Because maybe I'll do another leader. A great leader of the world or some weird thing like that. Alright, so this is basically our character creator. In all honesty, I always wear helmets. I could give a rat's ass what we look like. And I never have a consistent look. It's always the default, dude looking almost like Cloud Strife. So, I might do some little stuff here and there, but it's not going to be anything super amazing. So, we have a choice here. My main objective is to kind of play this in a way in which I'm going to play it in Dark Souls 3. Show you guys what I usually do. And usually, I play strength builds. Usually with my strength build, I do not ever start with the warrior. And that's because, one, I don't like the armor set. And I'm very fashion focused in these games, as well as usage, like what's better than this. I hate this armor set. I don't like the shield. I don't like you get half a sword. Never have, probably never will. I usually start my strength builds, believe it or not, with the knight. I've played a couple swordsmans. Bandits, not my thing. It's more of an endurance skill character. We're not playing a cleric. We're not playing a sorcerer. Explorer is an interesting one because it's more focused on like an intelligence, I believe. Yeah, he's got 12. I think it's 12 intelligence. Maybe it's 7 intelligence, 5 faith. I honestly don't remember. I'm gonna have to look at the stats and stuff. I've been playing Bloodborne for way too long. But he starts out with a dagger and a weird outfit. I'm going to choose... Oh, and then Deprived. And then I'm going to go back and read all of these. I'm going to go with the Knight, because that's what I usually roll. It's got good health. It's got decent strength for a starter strength build. And he has a full weapon. Oh, I've always liked weaponry. like starting with an actual weapon. I will gladly forego the shield for a sword. Oh, that's what that must be adaptability that I'm looking at. No. Oh, goodness. Let's go to help, just so I know. Okay, that is strength. That's dexterity, vigor, endurance, vitality, intelligence. I was right with intelligence. And that's faith. And that's attunement. I can never remember what the little book is, and it's the only thing in the entire game I'm like, what does that do? Every 30 seconds when I look at my statistics. Equipment load. I really hope they merge these two back into one stat. Or was it this one? I don't know. They had equipment load, and I think it was your stamina. Yeah, it was endurance. In Dark Souls 1, they had that in one stat, and I really, 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 really want them to go back to that. But yeah, the high dexterity. So we're going to go ahead and play the knight. Adaptability. Is that like can you see that? Yeah, you can. Yeah, so that's adaptability. So actually the one with the highest adaptability is the explorer, which basically I believe gives you more invincibility frames on rolls. Makes your rolls, it widens the invincibility time and makes them faster. Your recovery's faster, putting up your shield, recovering from missed hits, like whiffs on like halberds, axes, things like that. We're going to go with the knight, though. Simply because he's just a good go-to to start a strength build and not have a broken-ass shield and sword at the very beginning and a shitty armor set. I really don't like that. But we're going to do that. And then our gift. I really never care. Life ring, where it doesn't do anything for me. The human effigy is nice to have here and there. The healing wares are actually really a boon at the beginning of the game if you're starting out. So if you're just starting a Dark Souls 2 character, go for the healing wares or the human effigy. You can definitely find human effigies and healing wares. You can buy them all over the place. It's not a big deal, but it is good to start out with some healing items if you're not too confident on your ability or you're doing something, like you're off kilter with or something like that. Homeward Bones you find and buy all over the place. Seed of a Giant. I believe it turns the enemies, if you use it when you get invaded, it turns the enemies in the invasion area against the invader. So they attack the invader just like they would attack you. I could be wrong. That could be another item. I think it's a Seed of a Tree of Giants. Not sure. Other than that, though, I don't think it has any use. I think you can drop it to the crows, and they do something. I don't know I'm not exactly sure what they drop with it. Bonfire Aesthetic is pretty decent if you're trying to get something early on. So say I wanted to, I don't know, burn one of the boss souls of like the Pursuer or maybe one of the first bosses. If you had a Bonfire Aesthetic right from the beginning, you could do something like that. Petrified something, I believe it's just a crow. Drop it for the crows in the little tutorial area. I don't know if it does anything else. Not sure. It may be of some use someday. So yeah, I don't think it has anything. At this point, just because I want to be able to travel as far as we can, I'm going to take the healing wares. Just because I want to be able to the longevity is what I care about, of not being able to, or of being able to spend souls and not worry about sitting down at a bonfire or doing anything, like that, like stunting progress. So we're going to go ahead and go with healing wares because I think that they're the most useful thing. What else? All right, class, finalize. No, we're not final. Build, I don't really care. Zeke, make him buff. Make him... No, I always try and go with the normal body sizes, because if you do one of the weird ones, the armor doesn't look right. Like, they're obviously fitting it to this character and then wrapping it around all of these. So it's just strange, especially on bigger bodies. Because, like, if you go smaller, they look kind of odd, but it's not horribly fitted. That looks very strange to me. But yeah, we're gonna stay with regular build. He's gonna be buff. We're going to go with a male just because I don't really even care why. And from this point on, I'm literally going to hit random, like 3 or 4 times, because I don't care. Oh, he looks like a baby. I actually really enjoy that. Yeah, he's gonna be a spray tanned baby face. Oh goodness. Okay. He looks extra stupid in that armor too, because you can see part of some of his skin. We have to. Oh my god, I forgot there was so much stuff in this. You know, let's give him like a bright blue beard or something weird. Yeah, we're he still looks like a baby. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna choose a color palette. I think I'm gonna have him in more of like a Geralt of Rivia, a really, really spray tanned Geralt of Rivia kind of hair, like white. Where is his like hair? Can I color his hair? Where is that? Eyebrows, eyes, nose, mouth, tattoo, beard. Is it? Wait, what? I swear I thought there were more of these. Because I don't care about his eyes. His shape could care less about. All this stuff I never play with because it makes your character's your face look all freaky. And I like having a semi-normal look. Well, yeah, semi-normal is probably the best thing to say to that. But at least a partially, normal-looking dude. And yeah, we got a ponytail. Oh, no, that's just choppy. Oh, huh, I guess we don't have, like, a ponytail. A male ponytail? We don't? Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. I never bothered to look. Alright, and then we're gonna do white. Alright, and then we're gonna make his eyebrow color match, because I'm anal retentive. Beard color, tattoo color, opacity. Alright, we're good. He looks like Santa Claus decided to get a spray tan and slim down. It's Santa if he was trying to pick up women the rest of the year. Okay. Class is good. Healing gift is good. Finalize, rest, reset. We're not going to reset. All right. Yes, this is my true self. Obviously, I envision myself as a spray tan fit Santa. And I did see we had a few people watching. Welcome. More or less what I'm doing here is a playthrough from start to finish in several parts. This is not going to be just a sit down, play it all the way through. I can't physically do that. I have work. I do things. I have to eat. But we are going through Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin in general. Vanilla game and all 3 DLCs. Trot along to the kingdom. And the reason I'm talking over this dialogue is because I don't know, it's cliched and meta, and I don't really like it. I've never really liked it. Ever since I see this, it's so meta to me that it just doesn't matter anymore. I just don't care. Which is sad, because I should care about all the dialogue, because this game has, like, very little dialogue in terms of cutscenes. So, it has dialogue, just not in a cutscene format, and this one is completely wasted with being meta and trying to joke with you because it's a sequel. But that's just me. We're playing our Geralt of Rivia. Okay, now, I am probably going to screw the controls up more than once, and probably no fewer than like 6 or 7 times, because I've been playing so many other games, specifically like Souls-esque is like Bloodborne. So, yeah, I expect controller snafus. There's our... Yeah, so if you didn't know about this, if you've already played this game, there's a little staircase. Go up the staircase, you get a human effigy. Alright. So this is to the first bonfire, which we are going to get. And we will read that, don't worry. But I'm going to grab that first. God, the R2 not being a charge attack is going to be really odd, too. So there we get our torch and the first soul of Lost Undead. So you know what? Just for shits and giggles, because we don't have anything else, I'm going to go ahead and throw... Ooh, what the hell? Oh, no, we need a flame butterfly. Ah, God, I forget that the torch isn't just a thing you can hold like in Bloodborne. Certain design choices in this make me a bit frustrated. It used to be just pure irritation for me, but it's not even close to that anymore. It's just kind of design differences that I hope that they take out in the next installment of this game. Or of the franchise. Alright, come on. Woo! Yeah, don't get grabbed by that. That's a grab attack. I'm gonna have to relearn how to dodge, too. That's gonna be a weird one. Oh, I might die here. Alright, life gem. Life gem. I can't believe he's kicking my ass so hard the first shot around. Oh God. Alright, come on. Alright. Yeah, that's the attack you want. Woo! Through the hole. Alright. Now, see, he can't get to us. So well, if you're a sorcerer, you could literally bait him to here and just hit him with your spells. But if you're any other class, you can't do that. Even clerics don't get attack miracles until a fairly good chunk into the game. So I don't know if it's too long or what your opinion is on it, but in my opinion, I think it's a little too long until you get an attack miracle. Because if you're a spellcaster of any kind, miracles I'm lumping in with spells just because. There we go. Oh, and I whiffed twice. That was just bad. Yeah, there we go. There's the good timings. Oh my God. I'm getting good dodges and now I can't hit him. He's gonna sit down. Sit on your butt. The same thing I tell my dog. Sit on your butt. Okay. And yeah, the key in this, and I didn't show it well there, is to not get greedy. So yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted the 1,000 souls and then our first ring. So it's the stone ring. So basically what this does is additional reduction of enemy poise. So when you hit something, it will decrease the amount of it increases the amount of poise you take away from the enemy every time you hit someone. Larger weapons benefit from this in an absolutely fantastic way. Okay. All right, and then I could have shown this earlier, but if you drop down, if you come over here right off the door, you can actually see this. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically this area, this next chunk of the game, is more or less the tutorial. So this is where you can light your torch for the first time if you want to. In all honesty, I don't even need any of these areas, but I'm going to go through them anyway just for posterity's sake, because I did say from start to finish. And just for everyone's peace of mind, no, that does not mean I'm joining the Covenant of the Abyss. I actually haven't decided to do that yet. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that because it's a pain. That particular Covenant and getting to Dark Lurker is a pain in my ass every single time. And I don't know why. Some people love it. Some people absolutely will do it every single time with the game. I've done it once, and I absolutely hated it. Not the fight with Dark Lurker. That fight was actually really, really awesome. I didn't like the path to get to Dark Lurker, let's put it that way. Just the whole idea is cool, but not my speed. I mean, I am much more of a co-op kind of person. I was always a Sunbro. I will always be a Sunbro. I very much like them, but different strokes for different folks, I suppose. I forgot how slow the arrows are in this game, and they have some weird tracking too. I love the arrows because they can curve like 30 degrees and track you in the air. Yeah, I know. Stop. Whee. Yeah, they. I forgot how, because again, I'm used to Bloodborne and the bullets, which are very dodgeable. Is that, I don't know if that's a phrase in real English, but they're very, you are able to dodge them. They're very dodgeable. Move camera, if you hadn't already figured that out, that's kind of scary. So this is basically where you drop your items if you have something smooth, something that could be considered smooth and or silky. There are things in the game called smooth and silky stones that you should drop if you have the opportunity. And what I'm looking at are those two little eyes that are, wow, he's moving at like 12 frames a second, and he was glitched through that little help message. Oh, I forgot about that. I always seem to die when I try and fall onto this. Let's see if that'll happen this time. Whee! Nope, not this time. Yeah, and the fall damage in this game, if you're coming from Dark Souls or Bloodborne, this game's fall damage is ludicrous comparatively, and not in a good way. You fall 2 feet and it seems like you break your ankles. So, but again, that's just a little design decision that I don't necessarily like that much, but it's just how the game is. And if you're going to play the game, I can never seem to land those. I can hit this, which is like a guard break. I can never get the secondary attack. Alright. Is it still? Yeah, I set it to circle. The default is actually clicking in the left stick, which I know a lot of people like better. But I am much more, I like the classic way of jumping. It's just just something I enjoy, and I'm glad it's a setting in this game and not just you have to click the stick, because I found the stick very clunky. Oh, and then this we can't do right now because we need an item called a fragrant branch of yore, which we get much later on in the game. Well, there are a couple that are pretty close to the start, but nothing that we'd want. We don't really want to use anything on that guy, ever, with any fragrant branch of yore we get. There's just nothing of value back there. So, and of course, if you put down a message, like in here, like right here, that reads, oh, no, I was certain it was going to be praise the sun. Yeah, there it is. There's always one in here, in this little corridor of light, that says praise the sun. If you put one down, you are most likely going to get some kind of rating. And if you get a rating, it does heal you, and that can come in real handy, depending on where you are in the game. Say you have no healing items, you are SOL as far as you can tell, and you're in a boss fight. That one rating can save your ass. So I would definitely suggest putting one down just in case, because it'll stay there the whole game. And here we are. I didn't even intro the area. This is your hub, your resting spot. It is absolutely gorgeous at 60 frames per second on the PS4. I absolutely adore how this game looks. If nothing else, I mean, I love the dark dinginess and how Bloodborne was made for the PS4, but the upscaling in this, just how big the world is and how in depth it is, I couldn't be more happy. And I can't wait to see the next gen version of this game. So I'm going to shut up and let you guys listen to the Herald here.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this
All right, so there's our Sunny D. We've got one.
To see the king. He who made Dranley what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
So now we can level up, and I believe we do have enough souls for a couple levels. That is the another benefit of the of killing that very first ogre, is that you get a couple levels worth of souls right at the very beginning. Not that they're hard to come by, but it's nice to have, so you can just kind of grab them right at the very start. So yeah, I'm sure lots of people know this, but if you smack that rock, it'll bring up a dead body. That contains an Estus Flask shard, and you can take that straight back. Oh, I almost fell down that hole. You can take that back to the Emerald Herald, and she will give you a second Estus Flask, which is good, because that's more healing. More health, more health, more health. Alright. So let's chat with her again, because we not only have to give her the shard, but we also are going to level up for the first time.
Curse. Seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
So basically, get stronger.
Seek those whose names are unutterable, before endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away.
So yeah, much more straightforward than the original Dark Souls. Go find the four, the brightest of the souls that you can, and then come back to see her.
Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
So yeah, upgrading the Estus Flask. She will give you that line of dialogue every time you have a flask shard. So even if you forget it's in your inventory, and you come back to her and level up, she'll say that piece of dialogue just to remind you. Alright. Strengthened, so that's 2. Now, let's level up. So yeah, we can get 1 level, which is not bad. So, what does that give us? That's stamina. That's equipment load, which we're going to need a lot of. And then just straight up strength, adaptability. I want to pump adaptability just a tad. I have no plans for intelligence. I might have vague plans for faith way down the line. But as far as intelligence goes, I have nothing planned for intelligence. Yeah, no. Bit. At this point, I should probably get that to 15 before I do anything. Because the things we're going to focus on in the early couple bosses of the game are vigor and strength. Just to bolster our already higher stats, then we're going to focus on everything else. Actually, with that item, we might be able to get another level with these 2 items. We actually have 2 of them. Yeah, we can. Cool. That was actually a lot of souls. Boop. That should be 200. That's 1,500. Cool. We can actually grab another level. So let's grab this. Let's do strength. We're going to alternate until we hit vigor at 15 and strength at 15. That's my plan for the very beginning. And that should work out pretty nice because it'll give us health and damage, then health and damage, then damage. So that's the plan. Oh, I love that armor set. As an armor set, we will get farther in the game. I think that actually looked a little off the radar for me. I don't know if I had actually seen that. All right. The Farfire. So, we can go one of 2 ways. We can go over there, which we're going to go over there soon enough. We do have to talk to one guy first. We have to talk to Lenigrast here, who is sad. Look at him. 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 Oh, well, that's blurry, but Look at him. He just looks sad. Blacksmith, and for God knows what reason, he cannot get in this building. Now, look at the building. Okay. He's a chubby guy. He's a big dude. He can crawl through there. He can crawl through here. He can't get in here, and he is all depressed because he can't get in the locked door. Alright, let's, what you got?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. Now somebody's gone and locked the door.
So, I never kind of understood where or whom locked his door. I always assumed it was Patches, because it's always Patches. Every bad thing that happens to a Souls character, 9 times out of 10, if you get kicked down a hole, or if something is locked, and you didn't lock it, or a bridge falls out from under you, it was Patches. And I think that needs to be on a t-shirt with a well, what is it gesture, like a character doing a well, what is it gesture, just saying it was Patches. Alright, I think that is actually an absolutely brilliant idea for a t-shirt. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and forego going down this, because I seem to always die going down that. And we haven't actually gotten, or well, we won't pop any trophies because I have played this on PS4 before. Oh, I can't believe I made that. There's a Homeward Bone, another Soul of Lost Undead. There is our direction. So there's nothing this way. This is a nice little aside because you get a Homeward Bone. All right. So yeah, he is a new addition, I believe, in the Scholar of the First Sin stuff. So if you're watching this, oh no. If you're watching this coming from like the vanilla Dark Souls, haven't seen anything since vanilla Dark Souls, he should be brand new. Or vanilla Dark Souls 2, I'm sorry. This guy should be brand new. Like, whoa, he was just chilling there for a second. And he's still, I believe, just as tough. Like, there is no downgrade from this one to the one you fight in the very beginning of the game. He might do less damage. I'm gonna try not to find out. Not bad for dodges. Alright, yep. He is going to cause me problems, so we're going to go ahead and deal with this guy. Ooh, that is a good pickup right on early in the game. He's going to try... Oh, I swore he was going to try and sit on me. I must be hitting his like invincibility setup right where it hurts, because I am blown away he didn't land a single hit on me. I'm pretty good at these games, but I'm pretty sure I'm not that good at these. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. And yeah, don't just proceed. There's a bonfire right here, if you don't know. Hopefully you do. But yeah, bonfire right here. Don't just... Whoa. Oh, the Dark Souls glitches. I missed the Dark Souls glitches. Death glitches, specifically. Okay. Yeah, this is a bad scenario for anyone who's ever played a Dark Souls game, and you know getting ganged up on is like second only to dying by gravity in these games. Happens a lot, and the game has no qualms about just murdering you mercilessly. Oh, look, an item. Yeah, don't, wait, what? Oh, maybe I woke him up. Strange. There's usually, oh, maybe people rush down there. I don't know. Alright, did we clear everybody out? I think we did. Let's go up the ladder. Bum ba dum bum bum ba da 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 da. Up the ladder. Alright. So he's awake. We got a backstab. Yeah, that's why I need adaptability. Because he actually wouldn't have tagged me with some of those hits had I had better iframes. But that's just how some things work in this game. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Broken straight sword. That might come in handy later. Depends, I suppose. Oh, he's going to hit me. Oh, that's a firebomb. Oh, that was exactly what the game intended, and that was not my best moment. Ow. Oh, I walked into that. That was just magical. I forgot I could parry, too. That's a weird one. That's going to be something I'm going to have to get used to again. Being actually able to just, you know, not waste a resource parrying. Yeah, that wasn't going to do it. Yeah. Oh, he still hit me. I'm trying to practice parrying. And this is not going well. There we go. Yeah, I was never really good at parrying this game until I was about halfway through it. So, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. Let's get you to throw the firebomb. Grab the life gem. Grab all the goodies down here. You need to die, because I know you were alive. All of these guys are actually still alive. So, this guy right here. This guy right here, and then I think this guy's still alive? Yeah, okay. I just didn't know if I'd hit him yet. Alright. Let's go ahead. I think we've killed everyone in this little area. Yeah, I think so. Go around up here. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, and if I remember right, it's some sort of throwing knife, which is, I'm not even going to try and attempt that jump, because I can't make it. At least I've never been able to make it. I know it's possible, I just can't do it. Oh, that was, wow. Yeah, see, that's the difference in fall damage between the two games. It's a very, very big difference. And our sword's actually about to break. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to throw on, like, one of the other weapons we got, which I know we can use the dagger, which is fine. It's not very, you know, it doesn't do much damage, but it's a fine weapon when you need something and your main weapon's about to break. The dagger is more than okay. Alright, come on. Do it. Ouch. Alright, there we go. And then the damage from this should be pretty... Yeah, it's actually better than my regular sword. So, if I cared... And I really don't... this is actually going to replace the dagger. Yeah, the short sword is just better in general. Unless you're using... Oh, I actually can't use it because I don't have enough dexterity. Whee! Down we go. Alright, at the cost of our health. And I do know I have my... my Estus flasks. I like to use the life gems first, at least the starting set of life gems. I don't know why, I just do. I always have. Boop. Let's see if I can parry his fist. Nope. Well, I know I can. It's just about timing. Oh, alright. I didn't do a jumping attack, but that's fine. Pick it up. Wood bolt. So if you're going for a crossbow-centric build, that's a pretty good starting... pretty good thing to have as a... Oh, God damn it. Actually, the reason the dagger might be staggering that particular enemy is because we have the ring on. The stone ring. I don't actually know if they stagger in one hit with the dagger on, even if it's two-handed regularly. So, grab him. He was hiding a life gem in his ass, which is good for us. Not really for him, because that's not where you put them, but... Well, I don't know. Maybe that's where everything in Dark Souls is stored. Just up your main character's ass. Just you have a pocket infinity, you know, void in your ass, and you just pull things out of that. But do love infinite spaces though. Oh, that was just indude. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're actually supposed to stagger after a one hit. Even with a two-handed dagger, so that might be the stone ring. I'm not actually sure. So up here we pick up our first shield, which is the buckler, which is a good early game parrying shield. The one that the warrior starts out with is not bad either. It is also a shield, so if you're looking for damage protection, then go for it. It again is never my cup of tea, but that's just me. And that rhymed. I do apologize. Alright, what is... Oh, okay, so that's the dagger's parry. So that might actually be... That's probably more useful than my... Yeah, that's way more useful than my... Than my regular parry with my hand. That's actually pretty useful to know. I don't actually... I probably knew that the dagger had a parry. I just didn't know... I guess I had forgotten. Let's put it that way. All right. Here's our next bonfire. We're going to light it. We're going to talk to this NPC first until we exhaust her dialogue, so I will be quiet again because she's kind of important. All right, so yeah, this is Merchant Hag Melentia. She's your very first shop in the game. So this is also where you buy the Traveling Merchant set. So the set that the Explorer is wearing when you start the game is this set. You can tell by the weird hat and the monocle with the hood, for sure, and the chest piece, because the chest piece looks very strange. All right, but we are going to buy something very, very specific, and it is that right there. Lenigrast Key opens Blacksmith Lenigrast shop in Majula. So, you're basically, it's exactly what it says. You are opening up his shop in Majula for 1,000 souls. So, not bad. Not a bad thing to look for when you trek here. So, if you were using a sorcery character or a miracle-based character, a cleric, this would definitely be a place to stop early game because you get another copy of Heal and another copy of Soul Arrow. So, yeah, I would definitely buy this from her if I were you. Then you get some of these, which I don't know exactly what I'm going toward. I have a couple ideas of what weapons I'm aiming for, but I don't really know. I was thinking about doing a strength fist build, which I think would be really cool, but I'm still deciding. I will play around with my higher level character and then decide. But we're going to sit down so our weapons don't break. We're going to go ahead and go back to Majula real quick. Kill everyone. He's using NPCs. Yeah, well, if you use the NPCs as they're intended, like to resupply yourself, the game kind of does get a bit easier. I love that shield. I always have. Very Viking-y. 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 Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up Lenegrast shop real quick. I'm a blacksmith without any tools. Bring me that key. And you actually don't give him the key. You go to the door and open it. But yeah, don't. Now he can carry. Yeah. So basically you have to reload the area. Then he opens up. Bam. Let's pop a squat. This is basically reloading the area as well. So he should be set up now. So now we have blacksmith. Dude, you're molding a straight sword or a short sword. Calm down. All right, so I did speed through that dialogue, but I did it for a reason. Nothing really says has any value, not in that little first chunk. And I wanted to get to his weapons, because his weapons are what we're basically going to be focusing on. Now, I'm tempted to go Battle Axe for the first part of the game, or work toward the S-Stock. And I know that sounds very strange for a strength character, but a more or less for thrusting, like very pokey swords, the S-Stock is your best option if you want an early game, like, long thrusting sword. Other than that, you got your long sword, you got your broadsword, you got your falchion. So if you want to cosplay like or Obobobo, you definitely can. You can use your S-Stock, use your rapier if you want to be Rickard. You can do Battle Axe, which again I'm leaning toward because it's got pretty good damage, pretty good base damage. I'm also leaning very heavily actually toward striking weapons, so maces, hammers, different things like that, because they're really, really good against like 90% of the enemies in the game. And then spears, I do like the spears in the game, most of them actually. On my other higher level character, I'm using one of the weapons from the Ivory King DLC, or well, I guess it's just the Ivory King area. It's from Eliam Lois. It's from the large soldiers, like the large frost soldiers. They're very big. They have shields and lances. And I'm using their spear and or lance. I actually think it's a lance, at least categorized in the game itself. It's a lance. So we're not going to reinforce anything right now. I think we're going to focus on getting our stats up a little bit, because I'd like to use either the S-Stock or the Battle Axe. Honestly, for a strength build, I'm leaning toward the Battle Axe because it's a Battle Axe. And we're going to go ahead and pick this up because it is a short bow, which I believe we can use. I think this is a low enough stat item that everyone early game can use it. Show item info. Oh no, I have to do it in equipment. Alright, let's see. Unable to use. Yeah, so wow, it actually has pretty high dexterity for an early game character. Alright. So yeah, 12 dexterity. We'll get there eventually, just we're not getting there right now. So, let's keep on going. We're gonna go back and we're gonna kill our first boss and we're gonna call it. We're going to go back to Cardinal Tower is where we were. So we're going to leave Lenegrast where he sits. We're going to go ahead and forego leveling up, as you saw, which does have some symbolic purpose to me. It has no real purpose in any other sense, but simply seeing if I can get to the first boss without leveling up more than once. So, we do have some summoning, the Bionic Chronic. I like it. And he is an early class swordsman, probably trying to get his humanity back. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and proceed downwards. I do see the staircase. We're going to go up there. We're going to explore these areas in chunks. That's how I'd like to do it. So basically, I want to explore the areas in... Oh, that was really lucky. In chunks akin to, like, going through it the first time to get to a boss. That's going to be our first time through an area. The second time through an area is going to be exploring the rest of it. So we're going to go through most of these areas twice. Once is just going to be get to the boss, see what we can, but get to the boss. And then the second time is going to be heavy exploration, making sure we don't miss anything. Not anything big anyway. This isn't going to be a 100% playthrough or anything like that. What is that? I am very curious to know what that is. What is that? Oh, that's like a plate, isn't it? It looks like a piece of armor. Actually, it looks like it says something. No, it's just a reused texture. It looks very specific, though, doesn't it? Interesting. Love the binoculars for that reason. Alright, actually, we're going to take them back out. So yeah, there's lots of important stuff in this very first area that we need to cover. We need to go into... Oh, I forgot they replaced the Turtle Knight up here. It's been a while since I've even touched this game. So, yeah, there are going to be multiple things that I've completely and utterly forgotten about that are hard-ingrained things that most people know and or knew about. So yeah, against these particular guys, you really see a difference